But let's get into this game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. This is a semifinal match. This winner here will go into the finals to take on our current reigning champion. His name is UGPSS, but right now we have got a TvT matchup beginning on Metalopolis, and I do have the best part of the evening, Sc2 on the line with me, going to be co-casting with me here tonight, having a good old-fashioned time. Sc2, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely ecstatic. Before I was doing great, and whatever, great, that's cool. But ecstatic now because we're in a best of 3 with TvT of Mankiw versus cZaseohyeon. Mankiw, who took out Liquid Sheth. Liquid Sheth was taken out by this gentleman over here.
Oh.
So this is going to be an absolutely amazing game. TvT in Starcraft 2 is just absolutely heart-melting for me. As a Terran player, I think it's still one of the best matchups that there is because it's just absolutely so volatile. And there's no real set strategy one way or another. You can go mech, you can go bio, you can do whatever you want to do. But Knack, let's get into the positions of this map. Why don't you hit it up there?
You got it, man. So it is cZaseohyeon. He's down here as our red Terran in the 6 o'clock position, and up at the 12 o'clock position, it is Mankiw, also known as
Devil of the Storm.
Devil of the Storm is what he says his Korean game name is. I might just call him Storm Devil. I actually kind of like that. I hope he does not mind my artistic rights here, right?
We are artists.
That's right. Oh, absolutely, right? We cannot be denied that. But these spawn positions are nice. It is going to be cross positions, so no close position by air. It does make a 1-1-1 potentially a little less... I don't know, maybe not quite as much on this particular map since it's such a small map, but maybe a little bit less enticing. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. But good standard openers thus far. Notice that cZaseohyeon is putting his barracks back a little bit away from his wall off here, which may mean he is going for a 1-1-1. He did get his gas down there fairly early, so we could see a bunker go down. If we do see a bunker, then oh, well, look at that tech lab going down right away for cZaseohyeon.
Now, if I remember correctly, and I'm going to keep saying this because I'm not exactly sure if it was cZaseohyeon that I stole this build from, but I'm pretty sure it was. He does this amazing build where he goes for Reapers and Hellions and Medevacs, then switches over into Cloaked Banshees.
Yes,
now,
that is cZaseohyeon.
why does he do this? Because the Hellions and the Reapers are absolutely amazing at killing Marines, and as soon as the Banshee shows up in Cloaks, well, now you're going to have to use scans, and you don't have any Marines left.
Right.
So he makes this absolutely Marine-killing army, and then moves on into using a unit that can only really be countered by Marines.
Right.
I've been using it a lot in my TvTs today. At least I was using it in my TvTs. It's very effective, super effective against most of the Terran meta. I think I won and lost 2, but that's what these things happen because I'm still getting used to it. And today's just one of my bad gaming days, but it doesn't really matter because it's still so powerful. It's such a powerful build. It's just, as I was saying before, that 1-2 punch that cZaseohyeon does. Granted, he did lose in that TVP, so maybe TVP is not his strongest matchup, and we could be seeing him go again against UGPSS.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean, this is the first game. That first game that he lost was against SS in the winner's bracket semifinal there, and so yeah, there's a great possibility that we do see him going back into the finals. Now, wouldn't that be an interesting play? So.
Absolutely interesting. I'm really hoping that he would be able to, scale up to his opponent that time.
Yeah.
But we'll take out this TvT. We'll take it as it is. So far we're going to be seeing that Mankiw is going to be going for some Cloaked Banshee action over here, as we do have a Starport that's going to be moving over onto this tech lab. We have a standard factory and racks just kind of hanging out, making some Hellions, making some Reapers. We're going to have that one Reaper try and get up that ledge, but it looks like Mankiw is already too smart for this type of a move, and has got some pre-positioned Marines. He is going to scout the tech lab on that starport, however, so he's going to be knowing that there's going to be this type of play coming out. He's already got the engineering bay underway. This is about to hit the 6-minute mark, which is generally when a Banshee is either about to hit your base if it's close air, or is going to be hitting his base. So Mankiw's a little bit delayed, I'm going to have to say there.
Yeah.
I might be a little bit incorrect there, but...
No, you're right. I mean, he got his second gas down late, he got his factory down late, and which also delays, obviously, the starport there. And so, yeah, I think a little bit late. I'm trying to figure out whether he did it based on his scouting, but if you check his vision, he has not even seen the expansion yet. So I'm actually a little bit mystified why he switched it up there. But that indeed he did, and is now going for a small push. No, he's just holding map control, I think.
Yeah, I think he just really confidently wants to grab that Xel'Naga. He's like, you know what, Seohyeon, you can win, but I'm gonna have the Xel'Naga tower today. That is what's gonna happen. I am laying down my cards. You can make your move. Now, we do see the Banshee moving across the map. It's actually pretty important to have those Xel'Naga caverns. Yeah, the whole map. You have to have the whole map. The towers, because you want to make sure that the Banshee's going to get absolutely across the map without being known. But here's that Banshee. He's going to be making his way. He's just doing a little bit of pot shots here and there on the Terran player. We've got the missile turret at the natural, but there's no missile turret at the main. It's going to be able to do a little bit of damage here and there. I'm still not seeing a missile turret come down. It looks like he doesn't want to overcommit here with the putting down too many missile towers and really canceling his econ advantage. But it doesn't matter. Mankiw's still building a lot of barracks. It looks like he really wants to push right behind this. But it doesn't matter because Seohyeon, he's got that bunker. He is ready for this. He's ready for any type of counter pushes with this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is a nice position for him. He's going to be relatively, defensible in his main from the Cloaked Banshees, and very defensible, I would say, down at his natural there. But here comes another Cloaked Banshee. We'll be forcing another scan. The nice thing about Cloaked Banshees and forcing scans from your opponent is it does cost them a lot of mules in the end, and that makes a big difference here moving forward. But the crazy thing is that Seohyeon did take his expansion a lot earlier, and checking in on that units tab, he is slightly ahead in the SCV count here, and he's been losing some SCV, so that means he's got a fairly substantial economic lead. I think at this point and moving forward, this is Mankiw's, Mankiw. His game to either take or lose at this point while he is trying to take control here. So I'd say that he's got to be careful. He cannot lose these forward position, as well as he needs to get his expand up and running unless he is going to go for this all-in type play.
Now this is really scary for Seohyeon. He's got a huge push right outside of his base. Maybe he's just feeling a little bit scared today, but he's got a large amount of units just hanging out there. We've got a Banshee that's up there, given the high ground advantage, and he's going to start putting. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was going to start putting bunkers out there. I was like, wow, that is really forward. But no, he's got those SUVs repairing that Banshee. He's got just an absolutely amazing contain going on here. And it's going to be up to Seohyeon to really break this. He is now in the red for food. He's actually lost a lot of his supply depots. He's got to keep making them. He's up 400 minerals. So he needs to do a little bit more here. Now,
oh, wow, those tanks. So much damage right now with those tanks. Can you believe this? It looks like we're going to have to evacuate this orbital command. Oh, man, this is a brutal position now for Seohyeon. This all-in type of play here. One base. Large push here for Mankiw. Absolutely brutal, man.
This is absolutely going to be very difficult for Seohyeon to come back from, but it's definitely possible, and that is why I love the TvT games. Sometimes these miracles can happen. He does have the upgraded Marines. His Marines will be able to take out all of Mankiw's Marines, but it's whether or not these siege tanks are going to be able to finish up the rest of the battle. And here comes the stim, and here comes the SCVs getting pulled. Is he going to be able to finish up everything else? There are a lot of units, and it looks like he's not going to be able to. Those siege tanks were just in such good positions, and those Banshees were just doing way too much damage.
Unbelievable play there from Mankiw, and I mean, he really is he's wanting to get into the finals here absolutely as much as possible. I mean, this is why I think we've got this cash prizes. We're trying to get the absolute best play out of these guys, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be going into game number 2. It will be Seohyeon's map pick. We'll catch you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got live tournament action coming at you. It will be Seohyeon and a Mankiw, also known as, I keep forgetting.
Devil of the Storm.
Devil of the Storm. Yes, good Korean players here, both of these guys. Phenomenal Terran players, highly ranked individuals. And we are having a pretty nice little best of 3 here. It is game number 1 did go to Devil of the Storm. He is spawning as our red Terran player up here and in the top 12 o'clock position, and Seohyeon is spawning as blue Terran down here at the 6 o'clock. So we'll be cross positions on Shattered Temple, yet another relatively small map in the grand scheme of things here. We've got some very enormous maps when it comes down to it in the map pool. But I mean, this will be an interesting game. I think that this is the pressure now going to be mounting on Seohyeon here, I think, and this is, I think, probably our Devil of the Storm's best matchup is his TvT. We've seen him do some phenomenal feats in his TvTs, and he's just got great micro as well as I think phenomenal metagaming in that sense. So moving forward here, what do you think is going to be the crux of this particular matchup, Sc2?
Well, I mean, we did see cZaseohyeon not go for a 1-1-1 last time. He did go for that fast expansion. Mankiw went for the 1-1-1, even got scouted by cZaseohyeon, and still went for the Cloaked Banshee. So, I mean, Mankiw didn't really do that much different. He didn't do anything really spectacular last game. He pretty much just got a really good position off on cZaseohyeon, but I think that was really cZaseohyeon's game to lose, and I think he underperformed there. We saw him play against UGPSS before, and today just might be a little bit of an off day for him. But it doesn't really matter, you can always come back, you can always, just turn the tilt on just any type of game. cZaseohyeon definitely could possibly win this game. We've got the cross positions once again on Shadow Temple, so some pretty good stuff. I'm really curious to see what these both players are going to be going for as their build orders, because, that's absolutely crucial in a Terran versus Terran. So far, we have that barracks going off again in the same position as before last time for cZaseohyeon. Mankiw doesn't really seem to be doing anything too different either. He's got the barracks, he's got the refinery. He's just doing pretty standard stuff so far. Probably going to be seeing a 1-1-1 come out of him because he does have the wall off. That's pretty indicative of a 1-1-1.
Right. Yeah.
And it looks like cZaseohyeon's got that factory up so quick.
Yeah, he could be rushing, I think, maybe into Hellions here. Like you were saying, that is a wonderful build and a good potential, I would say. But the trouble is with that, the only thing that I dislike about that build is when your opponent does go for the wall off here like this, that sometimes you're not able to get the correct amount of damage done. They can hold on at their wall. With good micro, they can hold on at their wall pretty long against those Reapers and Hellions. But we do see our tech lab going down there extremely quickly. We're going to have a factory headed over to the tech lab area in just a moment, so I don't know, man. Oh my goodness, no, it's not Starport. Now that's fast.
So yeah, that is a really quick Starport. At 4 minutes, that is an amazingly quick Starport. That Starport.
I think he's responding in kind here, don't you think? He says, okay, game number 1, you're going to go Cloak Banshees on me. Well, guess what? Game number 2, you're going to see some Banshees of my own, but it doesn't appear he's going for Cloak. He only has the 1 gas out on the field, so I think he's just rushing a Banshee here, and I'm interested to see how this is going to play out, but he is going to grab some Hellions here from his factory and a lot of Marines, and he's headed out across the field already with his first couple units. He's going for some serious aggression here, Sc2. I'm interested to see how this is going to play, man.
I am as well. Now, the Hellion on Mankiw's side did get the first shot off, so if this does continue, it is going to be in Mankiw's favor. He's going to be pulling that back and getting a couple of Marine shots off himself on that Hellion, but it looks like he's going to be pulling back. We're going to be just kind of resetting the whole system here. But cZaseohyeon being absolutely aggressive as heck. He's got that medevac on the way. Meanwhile, Mankiw has he's got the Banshee. Mankiw's got a medevac on the way. Whether or not this medevac's going to be able to out-heal the Banshee damage that's going to be coming in pretty soon, that's going to be a pretty interesting question, especially because Mankiw already has a reactor on his barracks, so he's going to have a lot of Marines. Now, whether or not he's going to force Mankiw to split up by making the Banshee go in the back, whereas cZaseohyeon's going to push in through the front and do some damage, maybe take out a couple supply depots, that's really going to be the next couple of seconds of this battle. It looks like he's going to be keeping that Banshee in his army and doing as much damage with it as he can. Now, those Hellions were moving a little bit too quick for themselves, and it looks like here comes the engagement. The Banshee doing a lot of damage, but there's only 2 Hellions left. He picks up the rest of the Marines with the medevac and puts up the wall.
Nicely done. Good micro here from both of these players, but I tell you what, cZaseohyeon is really taking advantage of this. Mankiw was supply locked there for just a few moments while he was trying to get out his Viking. His Viking is now on the way. It's just about to be complete. The Viking going to be a crucial factor in this battle here, especially since we don't have that the cloak out on the field for this Banshee. And here comes your Viking. Should be able to clean this Banshee up there fairly quickly. And this is going to force cZaseohyeon back, I think, unless he's going to go for an all-in type push here. He's moving
It looks
up
like
here.
he is going to be going for the kill, but his Hellions are a little bit mispositioned here. But it looks like these Banshees are going to be cleaning up the rest of the Marines. The C-check now out on the field. There's not enough of a ground presence for cZaseohyeon to really take out the rest of everything as the Viking now jumps back up in the air. But it's only got 1 shot left before the rest of the stuff is going to be done. The Banshee is still standing, but there's still more units on the way from Mankiw. He needs to take out the rest of these supply depots to really block Mankiw into not being able to produce any more units, because that's really where he's going to win here. Meanwhile, Seohyeon's going to be floating a little bit of minerals. I think he should actually start using them in a macro type of advantage here.
Yeah, I agree, and that's a big snipe, though, man. Sniping that barracks is absolutely huge at this point. I mean, having Marines out on the field here for Mankiw is so crucial, and he just is not going to have them here for a little while. He's putting down 3 barracks at this point, one of them not even being built. Oh, this is a scary time for him. This has got to be it right here, I think.
Oh, and the medevac micro, I was like, wow, that siege tank fell quick. But it looks like that siege tank actually just got taken out, picked up by the medevac. Keeps getting picked up before it dies or anything really happens to it. 20 health left. It's got 3 kills on it. Being an absolutely prominent member in defending off the rest of Seohyeon's forces. Mankiw is now surviving this. He's got 2 barracks on the way. Now Seohyeon actually doesn't have that many forces left. He's got a couple of Hellions. He's got a Viking of his own. But as for defending off the growing siege tank numbers for Mankiw, that's going to be a little bit scary as siege mode is now being underway. We could be seeing a repeat of last match, just a little bit changed from last time.
Yeah, well, we do have an expand for both players going down. Seohyeon definitely ahead on his. It isn't his main, however, so he's going to have to fly that out. But he's still, it looks like, oh my goodness, is he going for another push here? It appears that he is. He does have a Viking now out on the field. A couple Hellions. Oh no, he's just going to maintain map control is my guess, but he's going to move forward with these Hellions for sure. But man, I'll tell you, this is an interesting play from Seohyeon, and quite honestly, I think he's a little bit ahead at this point. He did a decent amount of damage there, as well as picked up an economic lead, killing off a couple of his opponent's SCVs. So moving forward, who would you give the lead in this matchup? I'm interested to hear what your thought is on that.
Currently, Seohyeon is sitting at a really good spot because he does have that food advantage, he's got the economic advantage, but right now, Mankiw has got the siege tanks, and that's really where it's going to start counting, especially because he's starting to get his barracks back up now. He's got stim, he's got combat shield on the way. We're not really seeing too much come out from Seohyeon. He's got combat shield on the way. He's got, siege tanks now starting to produce. He's got 1 compared to Mankiw's 3. And those siege tank numbers are actually pretty pivotal in the next coming moments as the mid-game kind of draws on for a TvT. That's going to allow him to confidently grab any type of gold expansion. Meanwhile, it looks like Seohyeon's going to be really, really, really bold here and grab that gold without many siege tanks.
Yeah, I agree. This is a bold move. He is going to buy himself time here, too. And I think this is a smart play. He's not going to try and take this game down with this engagement, but he is going to move into at least a forward position here and try and keep his opponent from moving out across the field to put that gold expansion in jeopardy. And I like that. Once he gets this gold up and running in a very big way, it takes just about 30 seconds, 40 seconds before it really kind of kicks in. And once it's clicking that way, man, I'll tell you, you can gain yourself a pretty substantial advantage very, very quickly. Oh, he is going to go for a little engagement here. Going to siege up on the low ground and then elevator up to the high ground here with a couple tanks, and this is a nice position for him.
This is a really nice position that's going to force Mankiw to use the small amount of siege tanks that he has. He's going to be sniping off that reactor as well on the factory there. So that's pretty nice. He's going to be doing this nice double drop. I really agree with this. The Viking numbers aren't really there, and pulling all of his SCVs. That is going to be putting him into a huge advantage if he does not clean up the rest of this map. And there's the GG from Mankiw. Wow, look at that turn around.
Seohyeon coming back in a very big way here in game number 2. That is going to take us to the ace match. Guess who's happy at that?
Everybody's happy at that now.
Oh, everybody. Oh, good. That's what I like to hear. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't Alt Tab, always on Starcraft. We'll be going on to Daybreak here for game number 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got that live tournament action continuing here. It will be the ace match here between the Storm Devil and Seohyeon. It is going to be tons and tons of fun. This is probably one of the best Terran versus Terran matches I've ever seen. These guys have got some serious, serious aggression in their blood. I'll tell you what, man. They're going for the kill over and over again very, very early in this game, but that is not the best part. Very quickly, let me introduce to you my friend and co-caster and probably the premier caster of all StarCraft. His name is Sc2. Sc2, how are you this evening?
I am doing absolutely ecstatic. We're going to be going into this TvT today with a 1-1 win and win for both of these players here. So that means we're at the ace match, which means all cards are on the table today, Nak. It's going to be absolutely exciting. I'm really curious to see which both of these Korean players are going to be going for as their build orders in a TvT, because I am a Terran myself, and I'm really curious as to what their build orders are. So far, we've been seeing some pretty standard 1-1-1s from both of these players, so not going to be seeing too much ridiculous stuff, but we saw some absolutely stunning aggression come out of cZaseohyeon in the last game. Absolutely crushing his opponent, ApxMankiw. However, Mankiw went for a really nice 1-1-1 himself in the first game, getting some Cloak Banshee action, and then getting an amazing contain off on cZaseohyeon and taking that win as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's been phenomenal play from both of these players thus far, and I think those are great points. And in game number 3 here, I expect to see just as much aggression as we saw in games number 1 and 2. I think that these guys really don't want to go late game. I think they're a little bit afraid of each other in some senses for the late game play, because they know once you've gotten to that point, the dropping is going to get very difficult to deal with. The tank positioning is going to get very difficult to deal with, and it comes down to, to small mistakes late game that these guys just don't want to have to deal with. They're trying to take this down with kind of a brute force type feel, and I really like that. It's quite exciting to watch. We do have some, looks like some SCVs cruising around the field here, and I'm expecting to see some 2-Rex pressure out of cZaseohyeon.
Actually, I'm expecting some 3-Rex pressure over here. These two little SCVs are moving their way out of the sight of 2 Xel'Nagas, going down here in the bottom right-hand corner, and it looks like he is going to be doing some pressure over here, some proxy Raxes, I would assume. Going to be doing a little bit of cheese with these 2 little SCVs. These 2 little brothers over here are going to be starting to pump down. Yep, 2 more Raxes. So this is going to be really interesting to watch in the next couple seconds, as Mankiw is not going to have scouted this. He's going to be probably seeing a pretty standard 1-1-1 or something, maybe no gas Marine expand.
Right. Well, and he's basing his decisions right now off of that scouting. So it's critical that he does catch wind of this, because notice that he is taking that command center, and this is going to be costing him quite a few minerals at this point. Hopefully he will get this complete before the Marines do hit. If not, then he's just going to have to go ahead and cancel it. But if he does complete it, he can fly it up to the high ground. But he is going to have to endure an attack here probably in the next minute or so from cZaseohyeon, and I think this could go very well for him. You're correct, man. 3 racks pressure. Now, does this feel like an all-in type of play to you? And just out of curiosity, I mean, what do you feel? What's your take on that?
I mean, no play is really all in, I think, unless all of your SCVs are pulled. We've seen some pretty crazy stuff come out of our other Korean player, Matty, where he's pulled most of his SCVs, and it's still not really an all in because he's able to recover from it. Yeah. Go into the mid and late game. But right here, this is looking like a pretty strong play right now. We might be seeing a couple of bunkers come down. We have that one SCV is going to be scouting. He's going to be seeing this, and he's going to be like, oh yeah, he went for that expand. Oh, he went for that expand. This is going to be absolutely key here. He's got those 2 forward Marines. He's denying everything that Mankiw could possibly see about this. And this is really where it's going to start get interesting here. We have a buildup of Marines down here. We've got 5 Marines now up here in the at that 1 Xel'Naga. We have a chain of SCVs as well. So he's going to be leaving himself with about 6 SCVs and a mule back at home, back at the ranch, as it were. Yeah. We've got still more SCVs and a couple of SCVs and Marines still here at the bottom right-hand corner at the 3rd base, and there looks like the force. And here comes the pincer maneuver. The bunker is not going to be able to get anything done, but there are reactor Hellions on the way, and they do counter something like this pretty well if he's trying to go up the ramp. Now that bunker goes down absolutely really quick. Now the second supply depot, does it go up? Yes, it does. He's got to take out that reactor before that Hellion finishes up, otherwise he's going to have a lot to deal with. And here comes the invasion of SCVs. The second Hellion is just about to finish himself. I actually didn't know that the reactor works like that. But here comes the SCV pole itself, and it's going to be surrounding all of these Marines. Now, are the rest of these Marines going to be able to clean this up, Nak? That is going to be a really big question. They do have a really nice spread here. They're not going to be caught by any type of really good lucky Hellion shots, but they are doing a lot of damage. The rest of the SCVs are going down for ApxMankiw. Is he going to be able to pull this back, or is he going to have to GG right now and lose and not continue on? And there is a GG. Do you know what that means, Nak?
That means we are going to see cZaseohyeon in the finals again against SS. Oh my goodness, this has been absolutely crucial steps here for cZaseohyeon, making his way back into the winner's bracket here. Unbelievable. And now we're going to be having to wave goodbye to Mankiw. He did place third, however, in the tournament. That is not a small sum of money, at least. I mean, it's not huge, that's for sure, but we will be getting on to some serious prizes in the next couple months. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been the semifinals of AGL, rather. I almost said GSL. Of the AGL. And now we are going into the long-awaited finals. Thank you so much. Don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys then.